Alrighty. Oh, I should probably move stream chat just a little bit. Thanks for the pelting of presents. Let's stream chat up just a little bit. I'm a little taller with this one. Ever so slightly. My greatest wish. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome in tonight. It's another night. Ace Attorney here with Soph. Last we left off, we had to take a recess from our court case to go find more evidence. So, go ahead, open it up, and see what we need to go investigate.
You gotta find more soap.
Ah, so much so. The game's... Did it open? Oh no, I'm saving. Never mind. Whoops! The game's like, you two have been degenerates for long enough. Clean your filthy mouths. Get your mind out of the gutter. 22nd February, 1:11 p.m. Naruhodo's legal consultancy.
Whew. Made it back in one piece. Just.
What?
To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while.
Would you say make it back?
What?
You said we made it back in one piece and you said something else after that?
Just.
Oh, just yes.
Like, just... Saying as in, like, just barely so.
Yes. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There's so many carriages on the streets of London. You were very nearly flattened several times.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you.
Oh, thank you.
And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can find out some new clues for court tomorrow.
Yes, let's do that.
Is everything alright?
I suppose. Still can't quite believe it, that's all. And I'm here in England, working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less.
Across from the Reaper himself.
Again.
Again.
Truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It'd be Kazuma.
It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you fall into Great Britain and work alongside him.
Yes. I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but we clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him.
And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I have no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say the exact same if you were here with us.
Thank you, Susato-san. Thank you.
Right. Just what do? Yeah. Kazuma's wishes!
Kazuma Asogi, best friend I ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. Really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. You know, classic Japanese saying, saved my bacon.
Yep.
I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. Eloping to London. As a stowaway. Yes, you could fit inside my trunk if you curl up swollen, I'm sure. No one will know.
Enjoy your look, Gaspar.
Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Tell me why! Why go to these lengths so that I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. That you really ought to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. But I never even thought about becoming a lawyer. I always wanted to go to art school. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world, the city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh, no. Never mind.
Quit being vague. Quit dropping hints of something that you're never going to tell us now. Naruhodo-san.
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about Cosmo.
Yes. He's forever in my thoughts, too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better. It was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain City, of course.
Yes, that's right. But
Yes?
I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all.
Oh my gosh, this is a whole thing. Naruhodo-san. What do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions?
I mean this.
His katana?
I never expected to inherit this sword after Cosmo passed away, of course.
No. I know. It was because I asked you to take it.
When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage.
Lily!
It is a
Hi!
wild mood.
It is a while, Lily. Welcome in, Lily. Yes.
Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about this
He
sword.
told me about this one. How are we doing? I'm doing pretty good tonight. How are you doing, Soph?
Glad it's almost the weekend.
You know, that's... I can agree with that to some degree, too. uh, I'm excited for the weekend, but at the same time, I don't want it to come too fast because then it'll leave too fast, as it always does.
Yeah. I guess the nice thing about me waking up early on Saturday is I technically get more weekend.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. As someone who uses
Little Hennies.
As someone who uses her weekend to sleep most of the time, yep, waking up is gonna make a great weekend. More weekend. Oh yeah, I forgot this is Blade's name.
That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. The Japanese man's sword is the soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karma guides me. I truly believe that. So if Ryunosuke has the sword, that means he's part of the Asogi clan now. Which means, on that boat, they got married.
Yeah. That was his wedding gift and Kazuma's parting gift.
Yep.
My betrothal gift to you as I pass away.
Although, if it was Susato that gave it to Ryunosuke, is it a post-mortem marriage?
A post-mortem marriage? Oh my god. Susato like, I'm proposing to you on behalf of the now deceased Kazuma-sama.
If you say no, I will throw you.
I will throw you. Okay, what's funny about that too, it's like Susato seems to have like her own affections for Kazuma. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how deep they go, but she definitely feels very strong affection for him. For him to like not only be called like Kazuma-sama versus everybody else being like San, right? Or Mr., right?
Yeah.
But she also just is just like, Kazuma-sama. Just like dwelling on it. Very, very This person was very impressionable on her. Impressionable on her? I can't word, oh my god. This person left
When the
an
game started, I honestly thought that those two were going to be together.
Yeah, same. I thought that as well.
So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. I have to kill a man. Something you have to do. Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me.
Did you see the video I sent earlier?
Only you can tell me what it was.
I know, right? You could tell me what you wanted seen through. We would take care of it. Also, no, I haven't opened up the video. I've got home, I started eating food, and I've been working on chores since, so... Alas, I opened Discord to get on call with Soph. I will watch it later, though, I promise.
Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. Now that we're married. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
What did he mean by something very important that I have to do?
I'd hoped that the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but... as yet, I've not found a single clue.
I see. Interesting little side thing there. I guess they probably put that in too since it's the second game. And so if some idiot decided to start Resolve before Adventure, be like, oh, yes, this was Kazuma-sama. Was. Go down to the suite and see if there's anybody there. 22nd February. Sholmes' suite.
Oh, Bruno! And Susie! Hooray, you're back! Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am! And you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie.
Oh, you flatter me.
Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups.
Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually... what's that foul smell? Aha! Wonders returned at last! What on earth have you been? You've been in work? Oh, Mr. Mustache's case? That was the day, was it?
I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes.
I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Hey, I'd like to see that. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. Too long. Lord Van Zyke's an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes?
Yeah, Herlock Sholmes, the great London sleuth, renowned the world over.
Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo.
See, I was hyping him up apparently.
Not why would I ask? No.
Mr. Sholmes. Whatever is that odor?
Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Oh, indeed. It's a sign of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. I think there's a liquid that can make blood change different colors.
Oh dear.
Alright, I'll bite. Let's see if you now.
Please don't bite him.
The gremlin side of Twitter, thank you.
That is for the gremlin side of Twitter, indeed.
Just tell him to take a shower. Lord Beric Van Zykes. Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? Reaper the Bailey? That's just a nickname. Sobriquet. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how exactly? Falling under a passing carriage or drowning in the Thames? Thames?
I think they pronounce it Thames. I don't know why, but
That's succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue, being set upon by highwaymen. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Moustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring.
If the rumors are true, though the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zyke's own hand.
As it happens, Mr. Stowe, that is quite impossible.
Oh? Why?
He has no hands. Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast iron alibi. But really? So his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. The fact is, the very day I arrived, when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey, just getting thrust at Lord Van Zyke's. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. And really did end bitterly indeed. Here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again.
Poor Bruno. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky, Oh, incredibly unlikable.
I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people.
Let's cut in with the foul smell first, though.
So, what is that indescribably foul smell? Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. What is that?
It explodes on contact.
My dear fellow, it is of course my latest invention. I keep it right here in my pocket, where I'm most likely to be shot.
Hmm.
A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea.
Oh my god.
Oh my!
There's some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris.
Oh dear.
Is it going to explode?
At the ready, Hurley!
I just had a drop of my chemical with this cup of tea here. We'll see what happens. It turned completely black.
And what a foul odor it's giving off!
Indeed. The blacker the tea becomes, the more foul the odor, the better the tea is.
Because you really want to drink it after that.
It appears that this cup was particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious, but what do you do with the black liquid now? I dispose of it naturally. Probably you wouldn't like to drink it, would you?
There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes.
Like witch trials. If she floats, she's a witch, and then we kill her.
Yep.
But if she drowns, then she's not a witch. But
she
she's still
dies.
Seems like the chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. The point is, we are entering a new era of science. The world of criminal investigation also.
Yes, forensic science. Oh, these are such exciting times. I can speak.
With this chemical, I can determine whether or not your blood is made of tea.
Are you a true Brit? Ah, this says that it's not made of tea. You are not a true Brit.
I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Sherlock-Holmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. Tea in Kent was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that.
But first, let's talk about Japanese people.
Is it ADHD conversation if I ever had one? With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well as Miss Susuko and myself, I felt that even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zyke seems to have an inherent disdain for the Japanese. Indeed. It is an interesting observation.
Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes?
I won't say a word. Because I like to shut my trap whenever anything gets interesting.
It was about 10 years ago that Baron Van Zykes chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. What?
No!
What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened?
Tune in next week.
A story for another time, Sonora Hodo.
One can't give away all their secrets in one go.
I believe I made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair.
Does this have to do with the hounds of Baskerville?
Seeing as that never got resolved last time.
Yeah.
Oh, but
The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Moustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. But first, forensic science.
First forensic science, yes.
So your test. Is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of higher or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then.
I have a feeling that this is going to be one of them.
Just a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels here. I mean, we left off last time with them having to go find a frozen disc of tea, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
And Man's like, but I don't think it is tea. I'm like, it's spanky, it is tea.
There's gonna be like the blood test, where it's like, anything could react with that. Doesn't have to be tea. It could be something entirely different that reacts and turns black. Is tea the only thing that turns black with that? It's like,
I feel like this is gonna come up though.
yeah, hopefully.
I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Particularly why I undertake research in the field myself, of course.
does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes?
Others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds.
Damn.
Now, what I'm researching is skin prints.
Skin prints.
Skin prints? Manufacture of my own design, as it is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects set by whatever person is under investigation.
What? How does it know? Is it sentient?
Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes!
As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues.
That's the spirit, Runo! See you later!
Yes, until later. That's a thing that people say. No, Mr. Sholmes, we were thinking you'd come with us. Yeah. Yes, of course. You said so just a moment ago.
I didn't say it would be today that you would see my forensic science exploration.
You said we witnessed your forensic talents in action. Nice. I do recall saying something along those lines. You go on ahead.
I'll show up later clinging to a coat rod somewhere.
Screaming like a cicada. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Reno. Bye, Susie.
Not getting peak iris pitch today. Mr. Shamspew's room. 22nd February. Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Ground floor.
Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? Well, we're hoping to have another look around, actually. Judge's orders and all that.
The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know the score. Oh, yes, one other thing. Something large outside the window. Did you find it? With the tea in it? Yeah, we found it alright. There was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it. Criminal identification section beyond now. We're looking into it. Results should be available later today.
That's wonderful news. Thank you.
Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here.
Are you actually... It's not the weirdest place you showed up still. Just seeing him phase in.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Oh no.
What?
I didn't even notice him.
You didn't even notice it?
My brain just blended in together with the costume. I saw the bag first and then I saw the rest of
You're
them.
like, oh, there he is.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed. Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Boy, what are you doing here, Sholmes? Oh, yeah, sure. I guess you didn't see him either. What are you up to over there? What are you doing here?
Nobody asked, how are you doing here?
Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems.
Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised?
The greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. What's all this? All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Sholmes' sensational skin-print seeker gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. a sample from Sir Shamsphere's cup. Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. Gross. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this refined indicator solution.
You have to use that word. Not that way.
By deliberately spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles.
That's probably not a good thing. This is his room.
Yeah, no, that doesn't seem helpful.
It doesn't seem helpful at all.
Yeah, try them on. There. Now spread the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed. Ray? How do I do that exactly?
Pull the trigger, man!
That's an A on the area you're interested in is all that's required. This. Ah, what is that stuff? It's like fog. The chemical indicator is pressurized gas. The most efficient way to cover a large area. There's another invention I discovered incidentally whilst I was developing this idea.
Sholmes, the inventor, the atomizer.
As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. You may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore.
Gregson like, don't fuck up the place. Sholmes immediately like, let's spray this random chemical all around the room.
Let's fuck up the place.
Nothing could go wrong.
It's all fun and games until you spray Gregson and his butt turns bright pink.
Gregson, what have you been doing? Oi! Now it just looks like a Danganronpa crime
weird.
scene. Huh.
This is actually kind of like thing.
Kind of what?
Haunting to see all the handprints everywhere.
Just a little.
Look, there are dozens of handprints here.
What were you doing there where you were constantly putting your hands on the wall?
This is where he debated people vigorously.
Yeah. Getting good use of the Cavadon technique. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped through that in pure shock. Where's my log button? Here it is.
So there are, a great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact.
This sends a chill down my spine.
Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all.
And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel.
Oh, very true, Mrs. Soph. That's a bit of a mystery, then.
Gosh, it really does look like with the addition of that, it's really creepy. Oh my god, Aspar! I'm already a little on edge because it's a little spooky looking here. That scared the shit out. That scared the absolute shit out of me.
I'm almost gasped out of that one.
I'm sorry, what?
I heard an audible gasp out of that one.
I was talking halfway through, and so I was running out of breath, and so the panic. Oh my gosh. Welcome back, Aspar. Yeah, it's kind of spooky, and with it being like, granted, it is a whiter color of pink, but it's still pink nonetheless. It looks like a Danganronpa murder scene, I swear. Anything else you want to? Fritz! Fritz! Fritz!
Does it tell us when we're done, or do we have
I
to
don't know.
determine that ourselves?
I feel like we might have to determine it ourselves, especially since we got that like whole cutscene here. But I'm just being diligent.
Yeah.
I think I've sprayed everywhere, but I don't want to have to come back to here. Granted, it's not as unnerving as the Blue Badger video. It's still a little unnerving here.
Well, the music on this one is.
It's better. Yes, it is. It's not as bad. I think the music is what makes the Blue Badger so haunting.
Yeah. Did we get the weird board over the hole in the wall? Yeah.
Yep.
I know that I saw a couple of spots that if you didn't get it like dead on, it just didn't highlight.
Yeah, like even if it like got sprayed by the excess fog, it was not considered touched. Sprayed. I'm surprised we don't see him touching the specific bricks, you know? You see his hands around the door, not the door frame, the window frame. But those specific bricks are clean as a whistle. Which is curious.
Did you spray the picture directly?
I know there is!
Never mind.
He was practicing his kabadon for debates. Don't worry about it. Can I leave? Oh. I can't leave, I don't think. I can't leave. What am I missing? What do you want me to touch? What do you want me to spray? Is there a floorboard? Is there someone under the table? Oh!
Oh, look at all this here. Oh, yes, interesting. Multitude of victim handprints.
Hey guys, how's it? Nice super normal wall handprints. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The victim was practicing his kavadoning. It's fine. It's fine. Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? The same reason why there's so many of them on the wall in that one spot. Oh my gosh, this is awful. Especially the way that we've been going through this whole game. I can't not think it.
Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall. Just here.
Multiple times?
There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is there?
He soaked up his shoes.
He what?
He soaped up his shoes. And, personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over.
I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes.
He must be a great detective. Oh, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we?
We did. But there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say.
Looks like there's... Yep.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell before.
I'll granted you, and I can't see behind that corner of the screen, so.
Yeah. The handprint's on the floor there, and on the wall by the picture, you mean?
Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment. Ah!
What is in this, Susito?
Look here, Mr. Naruhodo! One of the floorboards have popped out!
One of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Mr. Susito. So, what are we having here? Boy, what are you not doing?
Doing more investigating than you are!
Inspector Gregson. Stand aside right this minute. My job to investigate there. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips, whilst we dig around on the floor here.
Your never-ending portion of chips.
Fancy dog putting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. Doesn't look it. No bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Well, secret hiding place under the floor. What a find!
It's not a hiding place you can make use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw to Tommy Mat.
No, I know. But I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. Really? I'd have expected it to be loose under normal conditions in this house.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about the wall over there too. I'm curious.
Oh! I'll investigate at once.
Turns out the real clue is behind the picture while Gregson's looking on the floor.
Yep.
There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall.
Disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints?
I really can't think of why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that.
There you are, print for you.
Wow! We have Polaroids? In this day and age? We don't have to we don't have to go into a dark room and develop it? The photograph of the handprints on the wall have been entered into the court record. You really are a genius, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, thank you very much. His invention can make prints too? Now then. I wonder if Inspector Gregson's found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know.
So am I!
I pulled my back.
You pulled your back.
He's been undisturbed like that for a while.
You okay over there?
Love to know if there's anything hidden underneath the floorboard there. Let me ask Gregson now. After all, we're all acquainted. Inspector Gregson! Really, it's been too long. What is it, Sholmes? But perhaps you might show me what you found there. Seeing as we're such good friends. Not friends.
So you mean we're best friends?
Married.
You're married?
No, I suppose not. Small failure.
Schultz, if you're a married man, why do you occasionally preserve Yunosuke?
That
Schultz,
doesn't always stop people.
no it doesn't. Still, I can make the comment on that. Be Schultz. Schultz, be loyal to your husband.
Yes, I heard. I killed him with under that floorboard. Alright then, fair's fair. What? You did discover the hide place after all. Roger should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you.
What a kind guy.
Which quickly, my dear fellow. There's one thing I know about this man, is that he blows with the wind. Thick as leather. Boy, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. 3 items on the floor there. Newspaper clipping, photographic print, and a tin box.
Well,
Did the tin box contain poison?
nah, the tin box actually contains our hourly ad break, which we're going to be taking right now to keep pre-roll ads off for you guys. So, if you'll ting tight here real quickly, we'll find out what's on the newspaper clipping and what's on the photographic print, since we obviously know what's in the tin box. Be right back, guys. my gosh, what is happening to my model? I don't know what's happening to it, but it's not having a good time, it looks like. Thanks for the celebrate. Thanks for knocking me back in the...
Yeah.
I had a slip disc, apparently. Thanks for knocking it back into place for me.
Do not try this at home.
Do not try this at home. I can fix her. I fixed her. Whenever I hear I can fix them, I never trust. I never trust.
I'm just used to Arya going, I can make them worse.
That's true. That is a very Arya thing to say, isn't it?
Although, in hindsight, that has alarming implications. Because typically, the reason why someone needs fixing in the first place is either A, a lot of trauma, or B, they're just not that good of a person.
Yeah.
So what do you have to do in order to make that person worse? That's the concerning part.
Yeah.
You have to outdo whatever it is that made them the way that they are.
Yandaria. Okay. What do we have here?
Now, what do you want to know? Looks like they just cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. About a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time in Manchester. How terrible. Made the headlines down here in London as well. Rook had been sentenced to death, you see. Nature got him first.
My goodness. He'd committed a capital offense.
Man by the name of Sheldon. Nasty piece of work in burglaries and murder. Say the hoard he'd knocked off was worth about £1,000. That's a heavy hoard.
It is.
A hoard? Of treasure, you mean? Jewelry and the like. But he'd hidden it somewhere and no one knows where. Now he's dead.
Ah, it's a treasure hunt.
London? It's London's very own One Piece. Papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell. Some such was the headline. Does it not strike you, though?
I can roll up the newspaper and strike you on the head if you want to strike you.
Oh, I put it. Such an article be so carefully ensconced on the floor. I suppose now you mention it, it will seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got on Sheldon back at the yard. See if I can't turn something up.
The capital offender article has been entered into the court record.
What about the photo? No, that's not. No, no!
Back on the floor, Gregson.
Back on your hands and knees!
So, here's the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Oh. No.
Oh.
Yes, it appears to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. We don't, right? I feel like we do.
What?
The guy on the right feels familiar, unless I'm just thinking of Pat. Or Rolly.
He does kind of look like Rolly. I don't know.
And the gentleman
I'm
on
sure
the...
that's what it's gonna look.
This is what we always do. We always pause to speculate and then like hand it to you. It's like, gosh damn it!
And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garridem, the landlord, of course.
But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garrideb's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You can take that print if you like.
You're letting us take evidence?
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, because I'm better friends with you than that guy over there in the hat.
I presume, therefore, that the yard already knows the identity of the young fellow, that is. Ah, is that true?
You're holding out on us, Gregson.
Oh, right. There was an artist that I think there's a picture of in the hospital room when we visited at the beginning.
Oh! That
I
might
saw
be
the
him,
art
isn't it?
supplies on his side, and that's what reminded me of it.
It's been a couple weeks. I was not gonna
Yeah.
remember that.
It's too bad if we do. Fortunately for you, taking information isn't one of my pastimes. I'm not a gumshoe. Dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out.
Oh. What if that's the tenant that died? Because Mr. Garadeb is like supposedly super alert of observing the comings and goings of his tenants because he had a tenant pass away. And then isn't it the apartment that Soseki live in? The one where he died? Where he's like, it's cursed.
The one where somebody died.
Yeah. Okay,
Supposedly.
not this guy. Presumably, potentially this guy. Under my speculation.
I was under the impression that. Hello, Pierce.
5 years. One entrance.
I was under the impression that he had showed up at the hospital room to paint something, though.
Oh, that's true. That is true. I don't know. We shall see. Maybe he is alive.
Yeah, maybe he is. We don't know anything about him. I don't think we even talked to Miss Olive Green about him.
That's true, we have not.
Inspector, I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. There's no reason I'm not telling you. There's no failure. Yes, I heard.
We witnessed. The hidden photograph has been entered into the court record.
Why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor?
You love Shelm so bad. People are attracted to genius stupidity? Question mark.
I mean, Mr. Shamsphere himself isn't in it. If it prints are still rare treasures in the East End. Yes, Mr. Garadeb was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it.
What's in the
Probably
box?
something on the back of it.
What?
There's probably something on the back of it.
True.
I've been bamboozled.
Not at this point in time, at least.
True.
We can't know at this point in time, at least. With fever. And died.
What are the symptoms of the poison?
What, I'm sorry, what about
Don't
poison?
include fever, does it? The symptoms, they don't include fever, do they?
Um,
I don't remember if we had anything on that.
if we have information on strychnine, or whatever it's called, strychnine,
It'd probably be in the post-mortem thing, Bob. doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. Also, with this one, it seemed like a while. He had been suffering with fever since the end of October,
Yeah.
so he'd been sick for a while. What was 3 months ago from February? Would that be November?
Yeah.
Somewhere around November-ish. So he'd been sick for at least a couple weeks to a month. I don't know. What's in the box?
Expired strychnine.
Expired strychnine?
Doesn't go as quick.
Yeah, not as effective.
This tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? I suggest, Inspector, that you open it. You'll find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case.
Hmm.
It wouldn't be the... I wouldn't be the least surprised. Funnily enough, I've already had a look. Completely empty.
Are you sure? Show us an empty box.
What? Atmosphere, give us a clue, man.
Quit holding out on us. Give us your secrets.
You didn't even have a chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box.
Yes, an air. It's empty. I don't like how I feel inside. What's in the box?
It's empty, like my soul.
Is there nothing more to this box then? I wonder. Secret compartment.
Within the box? Waggai! Waggy!
I was the murderer all along.
Turns into an old man with a cane. You two quit fighting now. I was the one who murdered this man.
Oh look, it's that lovely little kitty cat. What was its name?
Mr. Nutsmaze, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Nutsmaze refers to himself in Japanese.
Ryunosuke named the cat.
What we got in here? A cat?
Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wagahai. Here's something delicious I bought for you from the cat's.
The cat's is meat man. That's a sentence.
Here's something delicious I bought you from the cat's meat man.
What a polite little cat.
It's like ice cream.
Kind of. It's a
More
little...
so than, like, meat.
Yeah, it looks like it's shaped like ice cream. It's marbled like meat.
Yeah.
He couldn't be happier now. Look.
Maybe if we can bring some happiness to his owner, too.
Hey.
Okay.
He making biscuits! He stretch and make some biscuits. What was I gonna say? Tricolored cats are thought to be lucky, hence why the Maneki Neko, the lucky cat, is a tricolored cat, a calico. And if Wagahai is indeed a boy, male calicos are extremely rare. They are extremely, extremely rare, and usually seen as a good sign of luck as well, I believe. So maybe he's bringing, hopefully not some good luck. Okay, what are we doing from here? We looked at the box. Cat had handprints. Everything's blue again. No check marks. Yep, you already looked at them all. Don't worry about it.
granted that change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. The needy, London's winters can be very harsh.
That's true. But if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change.
London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Susudo-san and I are going to make it to spring. Like ice coins.
That's true. We don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove.
Look how dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter there.
Yes, from all the water dripping out after the ice coins melted, as you established in court this morning.
Very large and obvious stain, isn't it?
Mr. Shamsmere must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose.
It's an ingenious idea, though. Give them that.
No further information, thanks. Can't talk to you anymore. What about the table?
The ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on the ill-fated night. Ill-fatedly.
During their heated literary debate, yes.
Against the wall. Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? Sounds like it's quite a discussion.
You know what? They wouldn't have to worry about. You wouldn't have to worry about making noise to disturb the neighbors.
True.
Heated literary debate, indeed.
Now that I think of it, I'm sure that the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison.
That's fiction, Miss Susto. Hope it stays that way.
The window.
The sun never shines in this room, thanks to that depressing bricked-up window.
Yet, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to get some soap outside, can't you?
Sounds like a very wise life lesson, Susto.
Susunomi Kotoba, founder of a wise Japanese idiom, a proverb to be handed down through the generations.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo.
What else have we not talked about? We'll leave Gregson to his hands and knees. Leggy!
This is a cheeky little meow, walk ahead.
Oh, but he's so adorable! I could sit and watch him forever.
I think he may not appreciate that after a while. And we have an investigation to get back to.
Well, what are we supposed to do now? Anything exciting to see in this photograph other than the handprints? Constantly pounding against the wall. Zoom in on those prints? Yeah, we'll get the exact fingerprints. Get the exact fingerprints and hands. Use that forensic science. Selden. Oh no. No, no, stop. Buttons, please. I don't know. Are we done here? I
I
forgot.
need to show the picture here, Deb.
True. Go upstairs and be like, hello, will you look at this photograph? 22nd February. Thanks. Mr. and Mrs. Garradeb's room.
Mr. Garradeb appears to be out. Of course he is.
Well, those will just have to come back again later. Do y'all not lock your doors?
Maybe not.
Do y'all got broken doors because of all the crimes that happen around here?
Gosh, right? I don't know, this was also back in the early 1900s. Maybe they just don't lock doors. I know even now, like in the small little town areas I live in, apparently most people don't lock their doors. Which I do feel safe here. But at the same time, I'm in the habit of locking things, so I still lock my doors.
I have a distinct memory of me being 10 years old, a stranger coming up to the door and knocking, and then trying to open the door. It was locked, so they didn't get in.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I'll always remember it, so.
Yeah. Well, when we first moved here, so a lot of, I guess people here have like their own businesses. And so our house used to be part house, part hair salon. And people like, it was like a place to go to. Like people knew about this place as a business, not just a house. And so even though that the salon has not been here for many months before we moved in, like they moved to a different place further into downtown, people, when we moved in, there was a handful of times people tried to walk into our house, just like open our door and walk in, and we're like, whoa. Or there'd be people that were loitering in our driveway and we're like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? And they're like, oh, so-and-so told me to meet them at the salon. And it's like, do you see any signs? The sign has been removed. The sign has since been removed before we even moved in here. The salon has been gone for many months. Do not bring it to our house, please. There is no business here. The old people no longer live here. We are not associated with this. It's our home. Please leave. But it was definitely the first month of living here was what's the word? It was interesting to see the people that would try to come to our house, to the point where we had to start putting signs on our glass doors being like, salon no longer is here, private residence, do not enter. No, it's a good thing that my dad works from home. And so he heard someone come and like reach for the door handle and move it, and he's like, I know that's not my wife coming home and all the kids are in their rooms. Who is that? Not only that, but like the way that the house is set up, technically they made the garage into an extension of the house, and then they built a separate detached garage, like, I don't know, 60 feet away from the house. So not only that, but the door, like, they're trying to come through is the room that my parents have turned into their bedroom. So, like, nobody really comes through that door as an entrance, but I guess that used to be the part that was the salon. And so my dad really was like, no, who is that? That is definitely not someone I know who's trying to come through into our bedroom, like. Okay, let's go to the hospital. February 22nd, St. Bartholomew's Hospital. I should wait for it to finish going before I read it. Recovery ward.
What do you suppose is happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance.
Yes, I hear in your voices.
Oh. Be not angry, oh ample lady. Verily thou art mistaken.
Mistaken, my foot. You were looking at my painting.
The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed the poison that mustached million gaveth me. Forgive me, lady.
I wish that you died from that poison.
God a mercy, ample lady, but thou seest I have vigor still. Behold my Shakespeare dance.
This looks rather ominous, doesn't it?
That fucking look.
Hated that.
You know, like that indie horror game trope of just putting like an obnoxiously large smile on something to make it really creepy. That's
Yeah.
what this feels like.
I thought there was actually a horror film called Smile at one point.
Oh, there was, wasn't there? I never watched it, but I did see trailers for it.
All I know is there's a bunch of smiling people chasing a bunch of people who weren't smiling as if they had intention of murder. So
Yeah. Oh, lo! 'Tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now, brown cow?
what are you doing here, Mr. Shakespeare?
Mary, I do believe I am returned onto another ward.
He was looking. That's what he was doing. Looking at my terrible work.
Eastern fellow, so dark y clad? Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee.
Oh, no. Thank you.
What? That doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Wow,
Impressive.
that was impressive. Able to not only bend the mandible, but bend it back and then perfectly align it again. A non-exunt.
Mr. Shakespeare might technically be the victim in this case. There's definitely a lot more to it than that. Pretty hard to pin the man down.
I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person.
Ah, Miss Green, is everything alright?
Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now.
Oh, I see. I feel like we've had this talk like a day ago.
Something like that, yeah.
We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear. You're too kind. I don't deserve it.
Rat. Rats. We're the rats. We stalk at night, we pray at night, we're the rats. Is this the biggest rat that makes all the rules?
That's the picture of the guy. Maybe we should show her the photo. There's a
Ah,
photograph on the screen here.
it is.
Oh,
Aha!
Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman.
let's be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone, do you think?
My, Mr. Naruhodo. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart.
None the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. I think that still counts, though.
Aware enough to
Sometimes.
have thoughts of the heart.
Yeah. You found the right answer right away doesn't mean that you're not smart.
Yeah.
That could imply that you are. Anyway. So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green?
I am. Thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me.
Well, yes. It really was an ordeal, wasn't it?
As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along the snow one evening, minding my own business. And then completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. And of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you.
Michi got arranged with the voices. I'm glad you're enjoying it, because I honestly can't pick up too much of a difference. I tried though. I do try. I like to get in a character.
Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I'll look back on this fondly.
Really?
I appreciate it, you two. Thank you for the compliments. Even if I play this by myself, I'd still do voice acting like this. Whenever there's a lot of like dialogue, and there's no voices to accompany it, I like to read it out loud. I just feel more, I don't know, what's the word? More involved in the story that way.
Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged.
She's gonna be getting ready to be discharged all week.
She's ready to go home. The doctor's like, not yet. She's like, I'm ready to go home.
I feel like it'd be a really awkward stream if you just sat in silence the entire time and made your audience read all the lines
Right? Yeah.
themselves.
Like that. I don't know. That just seems weird to me. I wouldn't play this game on stream if I wanted to play a game like that. Like there are games like that where I will just kind of like sit in silence and go through it. Like
Yeah.
there's like some of the like I downloaded the new a new like I don't know if it's even Otome, but at the very least like romantically tinged mobile game Tokyo Debunker recently, and like the story is intriguing enough for me to want to like keep up with it, and there is some voice acting in it, but for the most part I just kind of click through it and just look at the pretty boys. I read the lines to myself and click through it looking at the pretty boys like, ah yes, this is good. But look, I'm shy. Are you shy? It's taken me a lot of courage to even do like streaming stuff. I used to be like woefully self-conscious and have like stage fright. Not necessarily, I guess just public speaking anxiety. I used to do dance, so I would happily dance in front of a million people. Like I'd get a little jittery, but like I would do it, you know? Ask me to speak in front of 10 people, like way back in the day, I would clam up. Like even if I had something like very like to the point to say, I would clam up super hardcore. And even there's times like there's even times sometimes on stream where I'll be caught off guard with something and I have to force myself to say something, because once I stop talking and get speechless, it is so hard to get back to talking again. So as long as I keep talking, even if I make a fool of myself, it's all good. We just laugh it off. I'm here for the...
Calling me cute.
What?
Like calling me cute.
Yeah. I've slowly grown an immunity. I've grown at least a bit of a wall. Cute Kage. Why? Why are we cute Kage? Oh, because I in my Michikage form. I don't know. Chat seems to find a way to mix my name or anything involving me with the word cute, even if it makes no sense.
It's weird that I don't come up with more portmanteaus at that point, because it's just a knee-jerk reaction when I see words
Mm,
to just try and mush them together.
yeah. It depends on like how I'm approaching a word. Sometimes it'll come to me naturally. I was very tickled. I was very tickled because I wanted to honestly do this type of model last year for Chikage's birthday, but I wasn't super knowledgeable with like finding assets on Booth or using Reroid Studio and stuff like that. So I really was like at a loss of what to do, so I just didn't do it last year. But I've had like this idea of wanting to do this like Chikage cosplay type model for a while now. And this year I came to the realization, Michi, Chikage, you can mix those together. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And it tickled me too to realize that you can mix Itaru and Aria together. Itaria. That's, oh, beautiful. It was meant to be. Cute T-O-E cutie. What? See, like that. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Shoving cute wherever you can. It's moi moi. Am I moi moi? I don't think of myself as moi. I don't exude that uber moi moi charm. Cute, that's what makes it moi. It makes it moi because putting the cute in executable. Oh my god.
Like the one time I actually get wordplay that kind of works.
I'm sorry, what?
It's the one time I get wordplay that kind of works with your name.
Yeah.
And it involves spelling executable wrong.
Oh. That's so great though. Oh my goodness. We've got on. Why have we gone down on this tangent? I don't know why we gone down this tangent.
We were talking about voice acting.
Yes.
Performing on stream.
Performing on stream and all that, yes. Yes, and I'm me growing as a person. Thank you, Pierce. Faito da yo, indeed. Yes. I don't know, it just, for me, I'm the type of person that, like, whenever I finally decide to do something, especially as I've gotten older and I've learned to just give no fucks about anything. Well, I might be still self-conscious about certain things. Whenever I decide I want to do something, I usually go forward and do that thing. And even if I feel like a fool, I still do it. Because if you do it, and you do it in confidence, even if it is kind of a foolish thing, you know, you gain confidence that way. And the what's the word? The vein of like acting, right? Even if you're doing something super stupid, if you do it seriously, people are going to like take it seriously, you know? If you feel like a fool and you are trying to present something, then everyone's going to also think you look like a fool. So I'm like, just go with my confidence.
So just look at my performance of Sherlock Schultz. He's an absolute dumbass, but I
Yes.
just commit to it.
Yeah, commit to the bit. It's more, honestly, it's more fun that way, to be honest, too. Like, just having a good time with stuff like that. And like,
Or,
there's
Mini Memo.
many memo, yeah.
Oh, it's me, Mini Memo.
Or me with my terrible attempted an Irish accent from Magnus McGilded. It was fun though. Like I really enjoyed the role,
Yeah.
even though even if I was like only a fraction of a stereotype of an Irish accent, I still had a good time. But just commit to it. Or like you with Wendy Oldbag. Oh my god.
Hello, Phoenix Wright. You whippersnappers!
No, I'm so glad we have not seen the ancestor of Old Bag. It's really good to try things. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying doing the voice acting. Thank you. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying watching too. That's the whole point of streaming this. Not only am I having a good time, but I'm also doing it to entertain people. So if it's entertaining to you and I'm having a good time, then we've hit the 2 check boxes for stream requirements.
I've always kind of wanted to do voice work, but it's also hard for me to do the same voice exactly the same way a second time.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a very specific set of voices.
Mm-hmm.
And also, getting into that industry seems like kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Unless you know somebody.
Yeah. I don't know, like every small weeb who starts out and they watch anime and they're like, oh my gosh, and they meet voice actors at conventions or stuff like that. They know of like, oh man, look at these people. And they're like, oh, I want to do voice acting. I thought about that for half a second when I was younger, and then I decided not to because I'm like, wow, that seems like one, like you said, kind of a pain in the ass to get into. 2, I suck at acting on stage. So would I be able to do voice acting as well? Who knows? And not only that, I don't feel I have unique voices. Like I have my voice, but I don't think I can really do much more than like a slight shift up or down from it. I definitely can't do accents, so.
At least among English voice actors, there's a lot of English voice actors where their voice for a character is their voice.
Yeah.
That's it. That's them every time you see it.
That is fair.
You don't need to be like super fucking distinct every time. It helps when you're trying to get into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like voice acting be easier because you get different takes though, and you get to be in a booth and you get to like rework it. Whereas in performances, that's it.
That's
Once
it.
the words are out, they're out.
One and done. But yeah, I suppose so. You can either sell on range or just sell on being a really good actor. That's true. And I was never like, my performing art was ballet. I never really got into the whole like theatrical acting side of it. I moved my body very prettily. That was my artsy skill in regards to that. Plus, like, I don't know, I think on stream doing it here, there's no expectations. And there's no expectations from anyone. I'm not setting any expectations. We're just like going for it and just having a fun time doing cold reads essentially and coming up with characters on the spot from just like generalizations of what we assume. And I think I like that. I think I like that more than as if I were told, okay, your character is this. We want you to pretend to be this emotion. Can you inflect more on this particular line? Like,
I feel like we also get to rewrite the characters' personalities a little bit that way too.
yeah,
Because you get line delivery is like, oh hey, it's Herlock Sholmes is how it's
Yeah.
written, and I'm just like, oh hey, it's Herlock Sholmes.
exactly. You know what? We're like, what's the word? It's like the English. Okay, not exactly, because we don't go as far. Because I don't even know how far they go, but I know they go pretty far. But like the English dub to Ghost Stories, I think it was called.
Oh god.
Where they just like, you know what? We're just gonna go with it and do whatever the fuck we want.
The voice work is not at all what the original Japanese was.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. No, it was not. Michi was born for the improv scene. I don't know about that.
You have to watch it with the English voice acting, but using the subtitles that would go with the Japanese.
Yes.
Because they're completely different.
That would be super
I
funny.
remember doing that in college at one point.
I think I've only watched an episode or 2 of it, out of curiosity.
I could not stand to watch the entire thing at that point. It was amusing for the experience. But
Yes. It's amusing for the experience and
Just
hilarious that they
investing.
actually went through with it.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, Chai, though, because Michi and I have had conversations about how, as you call it, yes-anding is the thing that
Yes.
you've developed while streaming,
Yes.
which is improv, essentially.
Yes.
So,
That's kind of how like what I like to call it yes anding is like anytime someone presents a thought, roll with it, you know? Even if you have no
Yeah.
clue what it is, just like add to it. Yes, say, "Oh, yes, I acknowledge you." And add something to it. So that's what I've learned to kind of like, I don't know, between learning to not be as self-conscious and not care so deeply about the aspect of potentially making a fool of myself and looking stupid by yes anding, not even just for streaming. Streaming though was a big thing that helped me kind of like open up more. I would definitely say I've gotten a lot more, I guess extroverted. I'm very much an introvert at heart, but I think from streaming I've gained at least the facade of an extrovert for some things, where I'm a lot I've definitely gained, you know, a few more points in the outgoing category than once I did before, at least in social situations. You know, if it was like work stuff, like I was always like, oh yeah, I get it done. But social situations, I was usually the type of person who would just kind of sit and listen. But just throughout my like teenage life through young adult life, any situation that I've come across in life, I've learned to just yes and I find it has, I guess, a better. Tonight is not the night for me to be trying to find words to talk about things. But just yes anding things I found leads to just better interactions with people, you know? Like I've moved to a whole new state in a small town where everybody knows each other. I'm the outsider. And working at the bank now, I've met a lot of people. I met a lot of people over the last few months and gotten to know them and just trying to be, you know, not only kind and courteous, but trying to make small talk and taking that yes and, you know, they mentioned, oh yeah, I'm going on vacation to Florida next week. We're like, oh yes, let's talk about Florida then, right? Like, where are you going to Florida? Why are you going to Florida? I hope you have a safe trip, stuff like that, right? I remember little tidbits. Oh my god, I have a kind of funny story. So, there's this one guy that comes to the bank. He has a local business in the area and he'll come to the drive-up occasionally to drop off his deposits. And so I'll take his deposits, you know, process them, bring him back a receipt, stuff like that. And usually he's like very serious and he kind of has like a grumpy air about him. He's never been rude or anything. Like he's always very civil, but he just kind of has like this unapproachable, very stern aura about him. Anytime, but you know, even still, I always do like, hi, thank you so much. How are you doing today? I'll get this process for you. I'll be right back. You know, do that whole customer service thing. I'm just like the friendly teller. But come to find out, this man is also the dad of a kid that plays on my younger brother's baseball team. And so when I went to his baseball game, my brother's baseball game the other day, I saw him sitting there right next to my parents. I'm like, oh, hi. How's it going? In small town, I assumed that would happen at one point. But that's not the funny part. The funny part is I went to another one of my brother's games last night. Yeah, yesterday. It was rainy and yuck yesterday. But we were all sitting in the same area again because we like to sit right behind home plate to watch him play ball. And once we got home, I was late to the game because I was rushing from work to get over because we got out late and they started early. So I was like, gotta run real quickly to get over there. But apparently at the beginning of the game, the gentleman who's the customer at the bank was sitting next to my mom and was talking to her being like, is your daughter seeing anyone? And my mom's like, I don't think so. And he's like, he says it along the lines of like, I know this nice young man. I think they should meet. I think we should have them meet. And my mom's like, what? I'm just like, apparently I've made a good enough impression at the bank for this man. Just being kind and courteous and taking care of his business. That, that he's like, yes. But I look around and there's not many people my age necessarily. There's like kids and teenagers, and then there's people that are, you know, 30 and plus, but there are not really many people between like 20 to 25, like that young adult age. And so maybe he's like, ah, yes, this nice young girl who is a young adult age, I will introduce to this other young man who is also young adult age. Harmony and Michi streams philosophy and wholesomeness. Harmony and Arya stream myth. I will swear by my whiskers I will beat you with a book. Oh my goodness. The dichotomy of going with the flow and pulling out the threats of bodily harm. I can't say that's usually something I yes and to. At the very least, it's not usually what comes up. Like, maybe I could yes and to, going with the flow with that. But I don't feel that I usually threaten violence very often.
I think
Anyway.
that was more in reference to me, but there's only like one very particular thing that ever actually makes me truly angry, and you're one of the 3 people that have figured out to not do that. So
yeah. No, you and I mesh pretty well.
yeah.
Plus, we're both just like, not only do like we sense the mood with one another, but it also is the, what's the word? I completely lost that train of thought. I don't know, it's sensing the mood, and like we're on the same wavelength, and we're both pretty low-key people, so I think anytime just when we hang out, it's like we had the sense of like, ah, yes, we can sit here in silence or we can talk, and then whenever we do talk, it's usually we're on the same page. It's not Twitter.
We're also the people in our friend groups that do not require a shared brain cell, so
Yes, we have independent brain cells, which we can use to communicate with one another independently. That chill rapport, yeah, exactly. Anyway, I've dragged this. I don't know how long I've been sitting here talking about this. My God, I'm sorry. I got on a tangent there that turned into another tangent. Usually I don't get into tangents like that. Guess I had a lot to talk about tonight. Okay, you know what? I think before we get back into the game, we should probably go ahead and take our ad break because that is coming up here. So we'll take the ad break and then we'll jump back into the storyline after that. After that waxing philosophy hiatus for the moment. So, we will be right back. You guys hang tight. Alrighty. We are back now. Thanks for the celebrate, Soph. Got this here like that. Thanks for the celebrate as well, Asfar. Okay, I can't remember if you read this line, because this was like 30 minutes ago now. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time and you're obviously busy.
me, I'm sorry to take up your time. I'm sorry to take up your time during stream today, Waxing Philosophy. You're so busy trying to get through the game. I'm interrupting you. And she doesn't want to talk anymore. Right, we can
I know Chai at least is accustomed to distractions. Because Chai tunes into Aria streams.
Yes! But it doesn't mean that I want to run my streams with too terribly many distractions. If we're going to get distracted, I don't want it to be for longer than 5 minutes unless we're on like a really, really like deep, good topic. I like to try to stay on topic as much as I can. I don't want to move. I can't present anything. Well, can we look at this ominous note?
All sorts of medicines in this cabinet. Look. It's leaving within reach of everyone like this.
Yes, you're right. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two.
Well, at least there seems to be a little lock to secure the cabinet doors. I still hate their placement so much.
What?
I hate their placement. The fact that they're over the beds.
Oh,
making
yeah.
them really hard to read.
It makes no sense.
I don't imagine that would stop you if you were hungry. I worry that you'd break the lock.
Hunger doesn't turn me into a criminal, you know. That's just
You aren't you when you're hungry, though. Eat a Snickers. Or a bottle of poison.
It's weird. Everything else has a check mark on it. That didn't. But that was the same line.
Yeah, it felt very familiar. I don't know. Some of this is really strange. I don't know if we're going to gain any information here. We can't present any evidence to her. Can't look at anything else. Maybe this is not the place to be. Hi, Rat. Well, I guess we'll come back. Oh, there's not really many places to go, is there now? Let's try Briar Road and see if there's anything. 22nd February. Briar Road. Oh. Look at the soap again? No, we've already looked at the soap.
I noticed in the panel over the snowman that somebody had hung their laundry out to dry. And that's just really unfortunate.
Yeah,
But I guess it's what you gotta do.
it is. People would have like a... If they had like a fireplace, sometimes you'd see them hang like hang their stockings by the fire. Hence why like the Christmas tradition.
This is like £4 though.
Well, I don't think we're gonna see anything here. Prison?
Does he have a high fever in late October?
I sure hope not. Well, at least we know he makes it out.
Yeah, true.
22nd February. Local prison? Cell 9. Shit.
Not even him.
Not even him. here.
Yeah, now that we went and saw Olive.
You know, I have a sneaking suspicion we have to go back to the fake luminol. Fingerprint luminol. I don't know why. I just have a sneaking suspicion I missed something in there. Because at the time I felt like, nothing's really stood out. We haven't gained too terribly much information from this. This is strange. Let's go to Mr. Sham's beard room. Still on his hands and knees. What?
I was singing along.
Ah. Can't present anything here either. Huh.
I feel like Sholmes interacted with the wall, but I don't remember what it did.
Sholmes interacted with the wall?
It wasn't super clear what he interacted with, but he activated something. I've really looked at the painting. We can't even look at again.
I'm sorry, what?
Which we can't even look at again.
Yeah, I take it back. We did get some evidence.
We got the 3 items.
Yeah.
We just don't know who to bring them to.
And then we also got the handprints.
I guess we didn't get the tin box. He just held on to it for some reason.
He's like, it's empty. Not a clue. Which will probably be a clue. Well,
I mean, there typically isn't anything that's insignificant.
yeah. Suspect everything, especially when they tell you not to worry about it.
Yeah. That's the one you inspect the hardest.
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Transphere Briar Road. Okay. Gonna have to whip out the no spoiler walkthrough. I really don't know where to go with this. Already talked to him. Yeah?
If you click on Miss Green, does it bring up a similar thing?
Maybe. Let's see. I'm pretty sure hers was like a check mark, but I'm not sure what comes up. Same line.
Okay. I just couldn't remember after talking about voice acting for 30 minutes.
I'm sorry. No, don't like click again.
Part of that too.
I accidentally clicked through her again. Whoops. I think my model's drifted ever so slightly. Yep.
I want to get inspect the painting one before.
I can't.
Okay.
Because I thought about that. I'm like, ooh, let's go look at her painting. But alas, no painting for us. I don't remember this stool being here before.
It doesn't seem useful for whatever it is that she'd be doing.
Unless she's using it as like a table.
Yeah.
This really doesn't add anything to the situation at hand. Ace Attorney fans then pick up their magnifying glass? Oh, when they pick up their magnifying glass? You might have to examine the hospital room more. What the hell am I supposed to examine more though? There's so many things that we have to check.
I think there was buffering. So I think there might be a bit of a delay now on stream.
OBS is red too now, so.
Yep.
Yeah. I have to wonder if everybody's watching TV. If that's the problem. Alas. Maybe one day I'll have a better connection to my internet. For now, I had to rely on really crappy, degraded power line adapter internet.
Better connection for more than a month. Or however long it was that... You figured something out.
I know!
At your old house, and then you guys moved.
I finally I had enough! I had enough of streams breaking down and disconnecting, so I bought myself a 100-foot Ethernet cable and ran it along the floorboards, along the door frames, to my room to have a direct connection from the office to my bedroom. And it was glorious. It really was glorious. And then we moved. I'm forever going to be plagued by network issues. Ugh. I had that one class last spring, and I was like, oh, networking's not for me. And the world's like, oh, networking is not for you? Huh. Oh, here, we'll give you some lovely practice with some networking in your own home. And this new house is in even worse condition of network issues than our previous house, so it's great. I'm gonna pull up the walkthrough. Let's pull up the walkthrough. I gotta move my brownie so I can use my keyboard. Okay, great. Ace Attorney. Resolve walkthrough. Where is my favorite little... There it is. Scroll on down. Resolve, Blossoming Attorney, Memoirs, The Clouded Kokoro, Investigation Part 1, Trial Part 1, Investigation Part 2. Converse with Susato. Move to Miss Green's hospital bed. Examine the converse with Miss Green. Move to Sholmes' suite, converse with Sholmes. Move to Shamster's room, examine and converse with Sholmes. Point to the gas meter and spray on it. Spray 4 more times all over the place as he keeps the bricked windows on the wall. Move to the left side and spray the wall photograph. Move to the right side and spray the floor on the right side of the table. Examine Gregson. Converse with Gregson. Examine Wagahai. Examine the brick. Huh? I'm sorry, Chai. It seems like my internet is crapping out. So we're gonna have a bit of a delay. There's a trophy achievement called the Noodler.
Oh.
I don't know what that it pertains to, but alas, there is an achievement known as the Noodler. Gomen, I'm sorry for the stream delay o'clock. Trust me, I would get rid of stream delay o'clock if I could.
When I think of noodling, I just think of trying to capture catfish.
Yes, noodling. I would never go noodling. I would never go noodling, but I still find it funny.
There's two huge issues, perhaps three depending on where you're at with doing that. One, I think catfish skills can cut you, if I remember right.
I believe so, yes.
If not, it's the whiskers. One of the two, if not both, will fuck you up. Two, snapping turtles like the same environments. They will take your finger off.
Yeah.
3, I think alligators sometimes.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly too, catfish like when you go noodling, you usually it's not beavers, is it? I don't know. They take up home in like a little underwater nest that another animal has made. And so you have a 50-50 shot of sticking your fingers in there and catching a catfish or having some other animal bite the shit out of you. So really it's like there's too many things that could go wrong with noodling. I may be from the south, but I'm not that kind of southern. Okay, what are we examining? Are we just examining everything? I swear if this gives us a different reaction, it's gonna be awful. Please. What does it say? Examine the brick window. Bricked up window. We talked about this. We did talk about this. Hey. Talked about this. Yep, we talked about this. I swear.
So it turns out that Mr. Shamspear wasn't eating the soap at all.
That's right. The mystery of why he had it on the plate while holding a fork in his hand is solved.
Yes.
Eating it like Wi-Fi.
Please don't eat my Wi-Fi. It's already awful. Please, we all... My poor brother and I living on the farthest end of the house away from the fucking router is hell for both of us. Please don't chew on the cables more.
Yes, to prise his latest ice coin out of its mold.
Or to pry? Prize? I don't know.
And in the process, he accidentally broke the bar of soap in two.
Certainly was hard to imagine, let alone deduce.
Okay, we looked at the soap. Teacups. We looked at the teacups. Who is stronger, Romeo or Juliet? You're fine. I just feel bad for harassing you. I don't know what you're harassing me about, but I don't feel harassed. If I felt harassed, I would make it known. Let's see. Bars of teacup wall sconce. Into the gas pipe in the wall. We've looked at this before. You gas. Oh, have you made it to the noodler? Have you made it? Have you made it to the noodler achievement? Yep. I will figure out what that is. Sconce, move to the left side. Examine the prop stage. Make your stage. Wow. すごいよね. We could practice improv every day.
What do you think about that, Mr. Naruhodo?
Okay.
Like a weird roleplay in the bedroom.
Hey, this is a... We've already determined this is a room of interesting choices of roleplay and interesting debating positions.
Masterfully debating.
Yep. Debating. What have I done wrong? Can we... I swear, if this changes it now, just looking at that soap, I'm going to be upset. Nope, okay. What did I miss? It starts off with going to Miss Green's hospital bed and examine and converse with Green. Then it says move to Sholmes' suite, converse with Sholmes. So that was the first thing that we did. We talked with Sholmes first because logic would dictate that I would go downstairs into Sholmes' suite first to leave. That's why I went there.
We jumped out the window and ran to the hospital.
Yeah, and then we came back.
I have no idea where Asfar's at in the stream, so I don't know which that's at.
Yes, unfortunately,
What that's due.
I don't know what both is. Ah, yes. They're still on Noodlin.
Oh.
Tasty
Could be
catfish.
Snapping turtles and alligators.
Yes.
Or it could have been the Whiskers and Gills.
Or yes, it could have been the Whiskers and Gills too. Many things to have this or that.
That also sounds like a really PG swear.
Whiskers and Gills.
I'll just have a whole entire booklet of whisker-related swears.
Whisker-related swears.
Wizards whiskers.
Wizard whiskers. Whiskers and Gills. Examine and converse with Sholmes, point to the gas meter and spray on it. Spray 4 more times all over the place. He cuts the rig windows wall. Spray the wall photograph at the right side and spray on the floor to the right of the table. We've already done that. What am I missing? Are we missing something here then? I don't know what we're missing here though. We can't present anything. And we've looked at everything in here. Oh yeah, but on the topic of the catfish again. There's with how high risk, high reward there is on there. I think there's a reason why it's the yeet yeet kind of south people that go do catfish noodling. Drink some moonshine so they don't give a fuck and stick their hand in the water. We've looked at everything in here. Miss Green! Where's the Stone? Move to Miss Green's hospital bed. Examine and converse with Green. Maybe we need to converse with Stone more? I don't know why we need to converse with Stone more though. So help! What next?
We know that Soseki-san took tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he's in the court, then obviously...
Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea.
If that's the case... How did the poison get into Mr. Shakespeare's body?
I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shamsby's room that will help solve the mystery.
Well, naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. And missed a bunch of shit. It couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think.
Definitely. And I'm desperate to know the outcome of our investigation into the tea at the bar of the soap.
Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that.
Well...
I don't know where we're getting caught up. And we're not doing the the spray anymore, so maybe I got all of it done because we saw the stuff on the floor and it proceeded to the next storyline.
Did we exhaust all the conversation topics with Kusito?
Just the like general today's trial. You can see though.
It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? The victim himself turned up in court and took the stand.
I know.
Not only that, but then finding out that he was actually a barefaced gas thief as well.
Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san poisoning the tea.
All of your phrasing, Suzuto-san. He didn't poison anything. There's more to this Mr. Shamsphere than we yet know, I'm sure.
Mr. Shamsphere certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first.
What's become of him, actually?
I was told that he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment.
Oh, which one is that?
Let me see. Ah yes, he's at St. Bartholomew's. Or Bart's, as Londoners call it.
The room of debauchery. Oh my god.
We know that place, don't we?
Do we?
Yes,
Yeah,
we visited Mrs. Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken.
conversation's so goofy if you don't do it first.
What?
This conversation's so goofy if you don't do it first.
Yeah.
Yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back.
Ryusuke!
Do be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone.
We're actually both those Soseki-san etymology. St. Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later.
Ridiculous.
Cool, now check the prison.
Sorry, what did you say after that?
Now check the prison.
Now check the prison. Okay, you read it at 10:39? Huh? What did I read at 10:39?
He's figuring out how much of a delay there is. It's about 2 minutes.
That sucks. Not even like a few seconds, you know, like 10, 15, 20 seconds. It's 2 fucking minutes. I hate my internet. Okay. Bitch! Fucking bitch! You shit-ass game, I swear! 22nd February. Local prison, cell 9.
Oh, Mr. Natsume's back.
Who he is? Mr. Natsume, hello. I am the cat. Sorry? I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or Herlock Sholmes. I don't know about courts or trials or Old Baileys. I am a cat. That's what I am, just a cat.
Mr. Naruhodo. He's trying to escape from reality.
Trying to? He already has. Completely.
You know, like, yeah.
So, what's your name then?
Well, guy.
As yet I have no name.
Mr. Naruhodo. He hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality.
Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume?
No, it's not a catfish, Michi. Oh, what? I hope to not catfish anyone. I'm not that kind of VTuber.
I am not a cat.
It worked! He's back in the real world!
Most confusing thing I've ever had to say on the street. Me saying I'm not a cat. Well, what's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that. It's obvious. A cursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate. Sir, we've been here like 2 days ago. You're gonna be fine.
Mr. Natsume, no! This morning's proceedings in court prove that there's hope!
Yes, yes. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant, but Reaper is omnipresent in court, in my lodgings.
In your lodgings?
Here, there, everywhere. What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss. Like your medication?
There's no medication for this yet.
Oh, yes. Yes, we must.
Nope, nope, nope.
Right by.
Yeah, alright, bye!
In my whole life, have I ever been so moved as I was today? No. As a sentence where if I did not read the entire thing, I would not have any idea where he was going with that. Because it was structured really weird.
It was.
Of course, if I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more. If I just block those out, then today, being in that courtroom was... It was the most moving experience of my life. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're too kind.
Skull and Yard found the remaining tea, just as we deduced, and are analyzing it as we speak.
Something wrong with that tea. I haven't found a drop of poison in it. It's a... Oh, I'm sworn to say certainty. Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Oh, yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. We both poured it down our throats like it was a bath for our bellies.
And at the time, you were both completely fine.
Shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shakespeare then engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match. As the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim then. That's rotten Shakespeare. What have I ever done to him other than beat him at wrestling? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? I've been holed up in my room and there's been books. I don't recall anything. Anything at all. Right. What I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner.
let you know what, Mr. Natsume?
Not the soup, of course. What else?
Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend?
Of course I am. I had money. I wouldn't have chosen to live in an accursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Oh, yes, you said it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly! Especially the room that I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place, and it's trying to kill me.
Oh.
I realize the guy who died
Yeah,
in prison.
maybe.
Capital offender. Should I ask, welcome student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, that the next time you visit me, bring scores of super soft soaps. Good talk.
Good talk. Who you're talking about?
What's this? It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. Under the floorboards like a beating heart.
Under the floorboards like a beating heart?
It's Telltale Heart. I guess you're not as familiar with that one.
I guess not. I don't think I've ever heard of that. I'll have to look it up later.
Edgar Allan Poe. The
Oh, yeah.
story about stowing a heart under the floorboards and then slowly driving him insane.
Oh, well that's great. I can't remember if this was Poe or not. No, I think it was Poe. I read the Cask of Amontillado or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And the only reason I decided to go seek it out to read it is I saw this one. Someone taking a screenshot of a Facebook post, but it was some small local library that had, I guess, someone that needed someone small to be able to go through a hole in the wall to take care of like some pipes or something. And so they were like, need someone who's like short in stature, not claustrophobic, hasn't read the Cask of Amontillado. I was like, oh, that's great. I'm like, I gotta find out what the Cask of Amontillado is now. I'm like, oh, that's great. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
the
10-minute delay.
Worsening, I think, because I just refreshed the page, and the stream was when we arrived in the prison.
I know my stream delay also shows us the back of Natsume. I wish I could help it. But alas, I'm streaming out to all y'all. I'm sharing my screen with Soph. And I'm sure other people in the house are probably watching TV because it's after 10 at night. Alas. If I could change it, I would. I've thought of many different ways where I could run a wire. I don't know what they were doing with it, but the previous owners decided it was a brilliant idea to like jackhammer a hole through the tile floor outside of my room so they could reach the basement. And so I'm like, okay, the hole's here. It's like a small little hole, maybe like the size of a quarter. But I'm like, maybe I could use this to like string a wire to the other side of the house to reach the modem. But I'm like, there's not really any other holes on the other side of the house, and I don't want to put more holes in the floor or the walls. But I've thought of many ways to try to fix it. Plus, we've downgraded too. We're on copper cable versus fiber optics. But theoretically, even with copper cable, it shouldn't be this bad. So I'm blaming my power line adapter. Yeah, that delay's bad, isn't it? I'm sorry, guys. We had a good run. We had a good 2.5 hours of no stream delay.
managed to have the whole conversation about voice acting stuff.
Yeah, we did.
I just now saw the catfish comment, right? Yeah.
Man. Okay, did you read this line?
So he knew, did he?
Hmm?
I was reading the line again.
Hmm. Ah, and so he knew he did he, yes. I was like, what? He knew what? I'm dumbass, not reading the screen. What did he know? Who? Who's he?
Sorry? This man, Selden, young Selden,
Young Sultan.
convicted killer, an evil spirit behind the curse that affects my lodgings.
The Big Bang Theory, not a TV show. Him just punching someone's lights out.
What?
He's already taken one young man's life, and now he killed the artist. He's trying to take the life of another, a miserable, mustached, much maligned Japanese man. So Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit.
Tell us about Selden.
The truth is, I don't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. And at that time, hiding out in the lodgings, Mr. Garredeb's house. What? He lived where you do now? That's right, yes. Exactly where I live now. In my very room.
Oh my. Your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of capital offense?
Before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. It was 3 months ago now. That's when it started. The curse.
What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume?
It already caused one death. 2 months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. Poor lodger. He was found dead in serious circumstances. The room was locked from the outside, inside, even. Locked from the inside? Exactly the case we're dealing with now.
Tell us.
Because we love the locked room puzzle.
Yep.
So that's the convict's curse, is it? Yes, well, there's the start of it.
Comics curse.
Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume?
The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas? We found that out after I'd signed the lease. When Mr. Garredeb came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably been too scared to take the room. And those lease luckily legal. Even Mr. Garredeb, maybe, but that's lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. Can I believe this curse is affecting you? It is, at first. I just felt as though I was being watched all the time. Then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. Oh, I'm struggling to breathe. I wake up. And then the room is cold as ice.
I think that particular bullet point might just be due to the winter.
Phasmophobia.
But
They found the freezing room.
They found the freezing room. The ghosts possessed that room.
why is your room so cold?
London winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. But for some reason, even though I lit the stove before I climbed into bed that night, the light always goes out and the room fills with gas.
Oh, that's great.
But that's terrible. Exactly the same situation as what led to the previous argument and stuff. Then there's what happened to Mr. Shamspeare last night. He was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident that can be explained by a curse, though.
Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Garradeb's rooms?
Okay. Do we go talk to Mr. Garradeb now?
Present the picture to this guy just to make sure. And Mr. Natsume, it's nothing much, but it's been too long since I've been offered a present with that delightfully humble etiquette of our homeland. What? You were too kind. I accept it gladly. Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you, actually.
Okay. Mr. Natsume? Mr. Natsume, do you have any idea why these handprints are continually on either side of this portrait on the wall? Do you have any idea what might have transpired for these handprints to occur in this particular fashion along this wall from the previous night? Guess we can go talk to Mr. Garradeb. I don't know. Show him his receipt. I don't know why we still have his receipt. Oh, I guess it was just information for us to. Well, no, it points it out when we were looking too, because his books were in Shamspeare's room, and we have this map. Oh. There's that envelope. There's a lot of things we haven't really touched on. Are we? I guess we're done. Mr. Garradeb. February. Mr. and Mrs. Garradeb's room.
You're here now, Mr. Garradeb. Please stop. Makes it that way.
He's gonna choke.
I'm probably
it takes a deep drag of that pipe and drops the tea.
I'm more worried about getting all the tobacco and ash and the tea.
Oh, that's we put Sholmes's like what's the word? Sholmes's little high quality tea indicator in there. Does not turn black. Yeah. His tea is literally steeped tobacco and ash.
I'm sure somebody's made tobacco tea before.
I'm sure.
Quite jolly business it is for me, you know, getting out and about. Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance? Naturally. Fate of my lodging was hanging in the balance and all that. Trial to miss. Kind of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes. Of course, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. Is the old haunted lodgings or some such? Ah, well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what the blazes is going on, don't you know?
Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago. You were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened.
Well, from prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business. I see. So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh?
I want to talk. Ah, man. But it's ad break. So before we talk, we should go ahead and take our early ad break real quick. Unfortunately, we are still delayed, it seems. So I'm not sure how that affects ad break. But we will be right back after a few minutes, so hang tight. model so unhappy. It doesn't usually get this unhappy. Thank you for the celebrate. So, also, I don't know how far in the future you'll see this Necro, but thank you for the celebrate as well. It seems like we are on an incredibly bad stream delay due to my impeccably, absolutely perfect internet. So whenever you see this, thank you for that. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well tonight. Let us talk. Actually, pause it. There we go. Let us get into talking with Mr. Garadem now.
Some fishy fellow from the Far East, and a failed actor of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows of late. Thanks to that bollock curse. Convict's curse, you mean? Ah, of the stories, have you? What, the scoundrel was arrested here, and the next chap in the room goes and keels over. Then there was that woman who dropped dead just outside on the street, not to mention the actor yesterday.
I think you do know well why that lady, quote unquote, dropped dead on the street the other day.
My next, eh? Well, help you get the collywobbles, can you?
When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green?
Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspear, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still. Yes, well, it was that blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I would be quite content with such lodgings. You have a much nicer place.
Yeah.
Bath, toilets, fireplace, a fascinating history. Why, it sounds like we'll have luxury. I'm not so sure about that. There's no bath or toilet included, no fireplace either. But you do look after your tenants, don't you? Watching the rise and fall of the flames and your gas lamps up here? Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things. Is there any mishaps or such like? I think you've had your mishap already, sir. That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes. And forgive me, words just came to my lips. He is autistic. Fishy fellow from the right. What?
Did I click the same one?
There's no need for that, Mr. Garrett.
That's right. Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy.
He is undeniably peculiar, however. Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away? Yes, that's right. As the estate agent to find someone the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were. Don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually.
So, how long has Mr. Shamspear been lodging under your roof?
A failed actor chap? Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been 3 months now. Like it. Only 3 months. It's quite new here too, then. Do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garadeb, if I might ask? Well, it was that Selden scoundrel, as it happens. Selden? The convict, you mean? Selden and Shamsphere have some kind of connection, then?
Was he your previous debate partner? Maybe Shamsphere's like, ah, whoever lives in this apartment next to me will be my debate partner.
The convict chap, Selden. Away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see? Some melody or other.
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time.
Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his face. The actor fellow. Really? Yes, I remember it quite distinctly.
'Tis small, this world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamsphere, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor, offered erewhile for rent.
Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. But I have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant, though.
Nothing can be made of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee.
This girls must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor's ticking. It's ground floor, nothing.
Very well. We have an accord.
Glad to hear it.
Lo! A Shamsphere dance to celebrate.
So there's something in the room that he wants, so he keeps killing the people that, or trying to kill the people that live in there, I guess?
I guess, yeah.
What I heard in court today sounds like the chap was thieving gas. He's 3 months in arrears with the rent, too. Yes, the fellow's a bully player, all right. So he never paid rent, is that what you're saying?
And this is the origin of having not only a deposit, but also paying for the first and last month's rent.
Curacando, Mr. Garrett. We are most grateful. Appreciation. I would say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. Why do you think it's happened to you? What's happened to you? Shakespeare, my dear fellow. One of his most famous lines. I should have brought my own learning on the subject. I have a turn for literature too, you know. Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then?
Can we show him? Yeah.
Secret, can I ask you to look at this photograph? Is that your son who's with you there? Oh no, not at all. There was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross. Street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really.
Was he by chance the lodger performance for Natsume?
Yes, that's right. Oh, the old gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. That's what Mr. Mustache was waiting for, one might say. Next, young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap. Would you mind telling us a little more about him?
Understand.
It's Duncan Ross. When the chap was attending art school. Had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved into the storeroom about a year ago. That criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them.
I think he was probably in it for the cheap rent.
History of cheap rent, maybe, yes.
Is Discord fucking up now too?
No, I've been dealing with the dog barking because people apparently coming over.
Gambaru.
Well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. I hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodger was up to at the time. Sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. One of the gas that alerted me it was. Yes, synonymous with the smell of death. Call the police straight away, of course. The officer kicked the door off its hinges.
Good opportunity to take a drink.
We got inside, we all bollock left. Because of the gas? Yes, it was full of it. No, not at all. We must have gone out for the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death. Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. We still haven't fixed it. Maybe I wanted something back to have a lot replaced all over the house. Weird. But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. The stove goes out at night while he's asleep in bed. Well, the curse! The convict's curse. I've done that now.
I think his stream delay caught up. Oh no, it hasn't! Just returned from ad
that's-
break.
Would have been like 25 minutes ago then.
Oh my god. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Rip. Ah. Comics curse. Not the comics curse. No curses. Something real.
Someone's feeling defensive. Ah, that reminds me actually. Yes? Of young Duncan, right before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady.
A love letter, you mean?
Yes, where did I put it now? Ah, here it is. Left it on my desk. That's dangerous.
Left a love letter written by a dead man for someone you presumably don't know on your desk from when this kid died. However many months ago?
3 months ago. Thereabout. I'm surprised his wife didn't find that instead.
Right?
Excuse me. Let me see now. What does it say? Most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence?
Yes, sister. That is precisely why I prefaced my reading with, if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, because that definitely makes everything better.
I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes. No.
Sadly, he didn't address it, though. I have no means of delivering the thing. This is sad, really. That's why I didn't get in trouble. I see. It's been playing my mind. Inosuke, we already know the answer.
Inosuke, you're thinking of matters of the heart again.
But really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Indeed. The intended recipient's address is missing, however. There is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Mr. Sholmes, please! I've already had to chastise you about this once.
I'm dying love to you, my comfort darling. Olive green.
Ah!
Olive green?
That was impeccable timing for someone who probably doesn't know what the timing is.
The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside this house 5 days ago. The victim of the last case Usagi-san was in court for. He regained consciousness only yesterday. Is it just chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence?
Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean?
Pretty personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Miss Susato.
Shom's like, you could learn a lot by being a snoop, Miss Susato. Putting your nose in other people's business. You can find out much more than you think. Are we gonna go talk to Olive now? How many talking points do we have with him? Four. It's usually about 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have the letter though. Maybe we can show her the picture? And then start the conversation that way?
If it'll let us talk to her.
If it'll let us talk to her, yeah. And she's not here. Or maybe not. 2nd February? Yep, 2nd of February. The 2nd. The 22nd of February. St. Bartholomew's Hospital, recovery ward.
Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last.
Nope.
What? Oh, it disappeared, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the video cutting out on you?
No, it cut before I had a chance to start reading it.
Gotcha.
What is it? Is this a Romeo and Juliet situation? Miss Green! Are you drinking your paint water? What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back.
One moment. I'll be with you in a jiffy. Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing here? The doctor said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Oh, nothing really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me. That's all.
Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright.
I don't really have anything else to tell you.
Alright, she's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we can't coax something out of her. Wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green.
Oh, yes. I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. Though I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat.
He certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure.
What if we
He's
show
also
you?
not in an actual rush to get out of here.
What if we show you this?
Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross, you knew them, didn't you?
Why is there Danganronpa blood on the floor?
Oh no, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down when she did. Ah yes, medicine.
Oh, Miss Green, are you all right?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you like that.
No, it's all right. I just wasn't expecting it. But how you know about Duncan? Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter. To you. It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan. A year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved? Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually. That's why he decided to move into a cheaper room, to save money for the wedding.
That's what led him to Mr. Garrigan's.
Yes, he told me he found the worst, but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then, 1 month ago, that's when it happened. We're so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose.
It's not.
Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad.
I was starting to think that's just her look.
Her personality is sad.
But now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her.
Fiance dies from gas poisoning. Gets stabbed in the back, put into a comatose.
I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course,
Mr. Naruhodo!
Ah,
you were not about to leave. That's quite out of the question. What? Mr. Schultz? I didn't realize you were here. Of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows as always.
not creepy at all.
Well, your presence known next time.
Mr. Sholmes, what's this about?
Pretty much occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Stowe, is this. Detectives insist on such ex post facto modus operandi. I saw the case after it's happened. Instead of preventing a case before it happens. That is what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There's a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruhodo. Let's avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening. With nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look, and you cannot fail to see. Are y'all gonna dance again?
You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo! I know you can!
It's almost like it takes two to tango.
Nice example.
Oh!
Oh! That mouse seems to be dead. Look, I didn't notice it there before, did you?
He's apparently not the biggest rat that makes all the rules.
I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived.
You don't think. Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. Tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before is spilt out on the floor. The poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. This is a weird. Alright, yep.
Yeah, that was a weird sentence.
I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison.
Don't worry. I will attend to the mouse presently.
Mouse funeral.
Mouse funeral.
Miss Green. Were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? Take your own life? Once we'd left, you would put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taking the poison.
No! Miss Green, please! Please talk to us!
What's this?
Definitely feels as though this card must be relevant.
The suicide note?
I mean, when we first arrived, the screen was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere.
Yes. It may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it.
We get a piece of evidence.
Mr. Duncan Ross. Thought that he was engaged to be married to Miss Green.
To lose one's beloved fiancé must be painful enough. You should
Miss
know.
Green slipped that off the laundry. What?
Sorry, I was going to say, you should know Ryunosuke.
Miss Green slipped that.
So, I'm sorry.
I only read the first half of it before, but
I present to you the lock. I'm sorry.
outside her fiance's former lodgings too.
Fate can be very cruel sometimes.
Have we looked at everything? We gathered everything that we want to look at. Yeah. That poor mouse.
Seconds later, we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green.
Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted.
Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine?
I got it from the cabinets that are open. I was feeling peckish.
I resorted to criminal acts.
Well, with this being a hospital and all, when the doctors comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while. So, I snuck this out when he wasn't looking.
Conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains.
I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought, if I drink it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, please, Miss Green. Don't talk of such things.
Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison.
Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no. Oh, it's all my fault. What have I done?
I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection?
No. None. Neither the sender's name or address appears to be written on the envelope of this card. It arrived by post at my house the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here. I have information regarding the